Payday 3 has been around for a little under a year by now, and while some of the bigger issues have been solved, think progression and the solo mode beta, albeit slightly fixed, a lot of issues still lurk deep in the game, armor being by far one of the biggest ones. For a long while, despite the community's constant reiteration that the armor system was crap compared to Payday the Heist and Payday 2's, Starbreeze never really made it clear if they were gonna do anything about it until now. Recently, a new blog post just came out announcing Armor 2.0. The blog describes it as building the armor you want to wear and letting you play the game the way you want to. You know how you can mod weapons in Payday? Outfit them with silencers, better grips, quick pull mags, etc.? Well, that's basically what this new system is going to be like. All you need to know about Payday 3's current system is that it isn't that good. And for me at least, it's pretty hard to describe how bad it is. This new system, however, is modular. You see, in the current build of Payday 3, you have armor chunks. In this new armor system, however, those chunks won't act like normal armor chunks. I mean, they can if you want them to, but you can change them to act different. You know the adaptive armor lining? The current meta armor? It's signified by a purple bar instead of blue. Basically, adaptive armor takes no trauma damage, which is what makes it so meta-defining. Trauma damage is basically hard damage done to your current armor chunk. Once the damage is done, it won't heal back unless you use an armor plate to repair the current chunk. It feels way too micromanagey, I guess. Plus, trauma damage basically necessitates that an armor bag be brought alongside the current set of armor, making medic bags and ammo bags just not as good. Armor 2.0, however, makes the armor system modular, like I mentioned earlier. Now, instead of having just those pesky trauma damage taking armor chunks, you can now have, say, one adaptive and one normal armor chunk if you're running a 2-chunk armor frame. Armor frames. There are 4 of these frames that will be added with 1 chunk, 2 chunks, 3 chunks, and 4 chunks, respectively. Each chunk can be a different type of chunk, either adaptive, normal, or what they are currently calling shield. Normal is, well, normal. It has a damage resistance and will continue to take trauma damage. Adaptive armor will take no trauma damage and has slightly less damage resistance. And shield chunks have no damage resistance at all and will take trauma damage, from what I can gather, but will not permanently break. In Payday 3, if a chunk breaks, it's off for good until you place an armor bag and use it. This won't do that. Instead, it will regenerate fully like it will in Payday 2. I'm rereading my script here, looking at how many times I say chunk. Here's a little game for the people out there. Take a shot every time I say chunk or armor chunk. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Anyway, the new frame system will have you be able to pick and choose chunks. But on top of this, they will, of course, do multiple other things. The 1-chunk frame will make first aid kits give an extra 20 health points upon use. You will have a minus 20% ammo capacity, and you will also have 4 consumable slots for stuff like first aid kits and armor repairs. The 2-chunk frame will make it so if you have a tool in your loadout, think microcams, trip mines, stuff like that, then you will start the heist with 1 extra. You will have no penalty nor bonus to your ammo capacity, and will have 3 consumables. The 3-chunk frame will make it so if you have no throwable for 10 seconds, you will replenish 1. Your ammo capacity is raised by 20%, and you have 2 consumables. And finally, the 4-chunk frame will make it so when you use an armor bag or repair kit, it will prevent all armor damage for 3 seconds. You will have 40% max ammo, and you will have 2 consumable slots. The chunks will also regenerate if they haven't taken any trauma damage. The timings being 1.5 seconds to regain a normal armor chunk, 2 to regain an adaptive armor chunk, and 3 seconds to regain a shield armor chunk. The chunks will also affect your downs. Without any chunks, each frame has about 6 downs before you can go into custody, assuming you revived each down. Each chunk, however, will lower your amount of downs by a set number. Normal will lower it by 1, and adaptive and shield will lower it by 2. The kind folks that write the blog posts have given us examples to use, of course, to understand this better. To keep this video shorter than it needs to be, I'm just going to go over 2 out of the 4. Example 1. A player who is using a 3-chunk frame with adaptive and 2 normal chunks would have these stats. Regeneration time at 5 seconds, downs 2, speed penalty medium. Their passive ability would be if you have no throwables for 10 seconds, replenish 1. Their ammo capacity would be plus 20, and they would have 2 consumable slots. Example 2. A player who is using a 3-chunk frame with one of each chunks would have the following stats. Regeneration time at 6.5 seconds. Downs, 1, aka the bare minimum. Speed penalty, medium. Passive ability, if you have no throwables for 10 seconds, replenish 1. Plus 20% ammo capacity, and 2 consumable slots. This is an amazing idea. I can't gush enough about it. Perfect for 2 of the main issues the game has had since launch. Those being, of course, the armor system and the player, well, yeah, being able to play how they want to play. It's only somewhat. The game kind of used to railroad them a bit more. This solution, in my opinion, is a double fix for 2 of the main issues, player freedom and the armor system. This is an amazing change and will be coming this December. Thank you, Starbreeze, for finally fixing the armor system.